Hi everyone, Sudi here. In this video, I'm bringing you a quick guide on how you can easily get more Primals and also more Paragon when you're playing Diablo 3 solo. So I get a lot of questions about how I'm so high Paragon and how I found over 150 Primals so far in the season. So I thought I'd show you guys a quick guide on how you can increase your efficiency when you're playing D3. And most of it actually comes down to how you spend your time when you are in town, i.e. not doing great rifts. So let me show you my strategy, how I do it, and you can follow along. There's a really good strategy, and it'll probably allow you to do almost double the grades you can do per hour. Now I've just done the first grade rift now, and we're of course gonna pick up all the loot here. Now one of the main things here is teleporting while you're upgrading gems. So basically you can start upgrading and then teleporting to town while you're still upgrading with 3 left. Basically you then lose all your upgrades and you teleport to town. As you can see, we timed it perfectly for completing all 4 upgrades and then getting back to town immediately. Now what some people do when they come back to town is going and IDing and then gambling and all that good stuff. What you want to do is when you come back from town, use any kind of movement spells, come over to Auric, close it, and then do another grade rift. We want to do at least 4 grade rifts before we ID and gamble, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So we hop in and do another grade rift now. Now we've just done our second grade rift, and now comes the difficult part. This is where most people struggle. Of course, the same thing as before. We're teleporting while upgrading. Do this now. As you can see, our inventory is pretty filled up. What most people do here is either going and ID and gamble now, but there's one thing you can do. As you can see, all these big items, you can already see what they are, right? And we already know what builds we are playing, so I can salvage basically all of these even before IDing them. So I'll just hop over, click salvage, and then salvage everything that I can already see that I'm not using for any of my builds. I'm not going to play any of these builds here, so I can just get rid of them. Normally you might have like an inner piece or raiment, whatever builds you have, of course keep those. But right there, I knew there was not a single one of those items that I use for any of my builds. As you can see, we've done 2 graders now, and we now have basically a full clean inventory. And even if you did have 3 or 4 items you didn't salvage, this strategy works really well even. So now all we do is just do it again. We do 2 more grade rifts, and then after a 4th one, that's when we ID and gamble. That way you can play the game really efficiently, because we're doing a ton more grade rifts per hour, and we are minimizing the amount of times we ID and gamble, because that is where you lose a lot of your efficiency, and you spend a lot of time in town is IDing and gambling. So now we're going to do 2 more and then see how we look. So as you can see, we have now done our 4th run, and we've picked up every single item. We have left behind 26 blood shards, but that doesn't matter at all. So now of course we go back as before, and we have now done 4 graders without IDing or gambling. And that's really efficient. So of course now you'd go and ID and gamble because we have full on blood shards. So of course we go and ID and gamble, but again as before, we already know what items we don't want to use. So I don't have to look at items that I'm not going to be playing with. So most of these items I don't even have to look at. It doesn't matter if they're ancient, primal, or anything. Of course, I'm going to look at the items I'm after. So Anas, for instance, look at that. But it had bad stats, so of course get rid of all that. But most of these items I cannot use for anything, and they also roll the bad. As you can see, we cleared everything now. That was through from 4 grade rifts, and it was all pretty bad. I'm only going to look at items for my build or the builds I'm playing. And of course, we didn't just gamble. I'm just gambling rings for fun of it. And of course, salvage, boom, and then we are ready to go again. So once you get this kind of technique down, it takes you maybe 30 seconds or so to do the entire event here, and do that 1 time every 4 grade rifts. If you can get that down, you can do at least 20 grades per hour or even higher. I'm doing close to 30 grades per hour with my monk here because I'm doing graders really fast, and I also have really low time spent in town. So if you start implementing these tips here, I guarantee you're gonna get a ton more Paragon and Primal when you're playing D3, because the name of the game is efficiency, and you don't want to spend time in town. Town is lava. You want to spend all your time in rifts or grade rifts doing something. And with this kind of technique, you can increase your grade rift done per hour by a crazy amount. So we found this quick little guide useful. Of course, this build I have here will be linked on screen now, along with one other video. So make sure to check out those guides there. And I'll see you in one of those videos. Peace out, everyone.